Hello, children. I hope you all are fine at your home. Children, before I start my today's lecture, I want to ask you few things. I want you to know that these days you are in holidays, you are facing holidays, and you are enjoying a lot at your home. I want to know that do you bath daily or not? Or you are skipping one or more time? I suppose you all are taking bath daily. You need to cover your face while talking to others. You need to wash your hands before and after eating, children. Take care about these small things. Clean your house. At least clean your room, children. Don't depend on your mother. Please. After studying this chapter number 2, microorganism, you know about all the classification of microbes, what kind of microbes are around us and how they can harm us. I suppose you all know about this. So you need to take care, you need to take extra care about you, about your family, about your friends, children. Okay? I hope you will take care about all these instructions. Okay, and I want to know one more thing. Are you doing your home assignments? I hope you all are doing. If any student left with your home assignment, don't leave those assignment, children. When the school open, I will going to see all the assignments in your of notebooks. I want to see whether you are following each and every instruction of mine or not. Okay. Okay, children. So, our today's video is about how to prevent ourselves from harmful microorganisms, children. What we can do, what we can do personally for preventing our loved ones from microorganisms. We are going to discuss all the topics. Till now, we have discussed friendly microbes, harmful microbes, both. In today's video, we are going to discuss about how microorganisms are harmful in plants, in animals, and how we can prevent us from these microorganisms. We are going to talk about the food preservatives as well as. Okay, so let's see what we are going to discuss today. Topics to be covered. Now, in this video, topics to be covered are prevention from infectious disease caused in other animals, prevention from infectious disease in animals. In this, one thing is missing. We are going to discuss about nitrogen cycle as well as, children. How we can maintain nitrogen in the atmosphere. What exact cycle in this follows. So let's start with today's video. Children, we are going to discuss about post prevention from infectious disease. How we can prevent us from the infectious disease. In my previous video, children, we have discussed lots of disease and we have discussed about many friendly microbes too. So now we are going to discuss how to prevent with infectious disease. Now there are many steps which we can take from our side for making ourselves prevent from infectious disease. First step is personal cleanliness. Personal cleanliness. Like maintaining personal cleanliness, as you saw that as there are so many diseases which just spread through contaminated food. If we maintain personal cleanliness, at least we should sure our hands are clean while eating food. Either you are eating from spoon, children, that time also you should wash your hand first before eating something. If we are clean, then no microbes will be there on our body. That's why personal cleanliness is very much important. This is the reason only that your mother always instruct you to bath properly, to brush properly, so that at least we can make ourselves clean. We can't make our surrounding clean always. We can't take surety that our surrounding is very much clean, because that is not in our hand, children. We can take care only our surroundings area, like our home, our room, or our body. Okay, so at least clean your body, clean yourself before eating something, before drinking something. Okay, now next step is clean drinking water. Children, drinking water is a carrier. With the help of water, children, many germs can enter inside our body. So you should be sure that whatever water, from wherever you are drinking, that water should be clean. It should be in a good quality. Like many diseases like cholera, typhoid, happen through contaminated water. So clean drinking water is must, children. If you feel any doubt what kind of water you are drinking, so don't drink that water, children. You should be sure that the water should be clean. So always prefer to drink water either from aquaguard, or if you are not having aquaguard at your home, at least boil once your water for before drinking. Okay, now, third point is wash vegetables, fruits before consumption. Children, as you are very much familiar about disease corona, these days many precautions we all are taking. Extra precautions we all are taking, like whenever something is coming from outside, from the market, like fruits, vegetables, milk packet, whatever you are bringing from the outside, you are washing that thing before using. So this kind of precaution you should take in day to day life as well. As okay, contaminated food and fruits can cause disease like typhoid and cholera. So after, when this corona will be finished, then only also you should wash your vegetables and fruits before consumption. I hope you all going to do that. Now fourth point is proper disposal. It is O, disposal of excreta. If excreta is not disposed properly, children, then excreta can become a carrier for germs from one person to another. In surrounds us, many microorganisms are present which can attack on excreta in our surrounding, and many flies are too there. So what flies going to do? First they will sit on the excreta, and then that same fly can sit on our food also. So in future, if you eat that food, you consume that food, you tend to get germs inside your body. Here, excreta can become a medium for the pathogen to transfer germs to other living organism, children. So proper disposal of excreta should be must. Now, fifth point is avoid stagnation of water. What is the meaning of stagnation? Stagnation means standing water. Standing water, collectively water is collecting somewhere. So if around you there is stagnated water, children, in that stagnated water germs can easily attack. Even stagnated water can be a best place for growing mosquitoes also. So we should avoid stagnation of water, children. Outside your home might be your land, your roads are not properly even. So, after raining, children, water can be collected at some place. It can become a standing water. So, on that standing water, mosquitoes can easily grow, children. So, what you can do, you can wipe that at least around your house. You can wipe that water with the help of wiper, so that you can avoid standing water. When you are avoiding standing water, children, you are avoiding mosquitoes directly. I hope you all are getting my point. My main agenda of explaining you is this: to avoid unwanted microorganism which can cause disease to you. Okay. Now, sixth point is use repellents. Now, mosquito repellents we can use because mosquitoes are there now, just because of stagnating water, but just because of not proper disposal of excreta, mosquitoes are there only. Okay, so you need to avoid that mosquitoes, children. Okay, how you can avoid? Use mosquito net. You should wear different sprays are there on the market, different ointments are there, like good night ointments are there, sprays are there. So you should use these kinds of repellents so that you can avoid growing of mosquitoes around you. Now, last point is spraying insecticide in drainage. Children, in excreta in drainage area, many dirty things are there which allow lots of microorganisms to attack. So we need to do proper management of these. So by spraying insecticide, what are insecticides? Insecticide are a chemical which we can spray around us for killing mosquitoes, for killing unwanted microorganisms. Okay, so by spraying insecticide, we can avoid mosquitoes and other microorganisms to grow there. So these are 7 steps, children. These are the 7 steps which we can take from our side to avoid the disease by pathogens. To avoid the disease by pathogen. Now, who are the pathogens? This we have discussed in my last video. Pathogens are the microorganism. What are microorganism? Extremely small organism which can cause disease. So we need to take at least these 7 steps to take care so that we can avoid disease by pathogens. Let's move to the next slide. Our next slide is about disease caused in animals. Children, we have discussed about disease in human beings which are caused by pathogens. Now we are going to discuss about animals. In animals also, disease is caused by pathogens. We are not going to discuss in detail because this is not in your syllabus, children. We will just touch this topic by knowing what kind of disease are there just because of the pathogens and how we can prevent those by those disease to the animals. So these are the 3 examples which caused by pathogens to the animals. First is anthrax. Anthrax, this disease is very much common in cattle. Okay, so it can transfer inside the human body also, children. So which pathogen is responsible for anthrax? Bacteria is responsible for anthrax, children. Now, very common in farm animals like cattle. It is transmitted through direct contact, inhaling, indigesting the pathogen. Now, what kind of symptoms you see in anthrax? Initially, you are not able to observe any kind of symptoms that this animal is suffering from anthrax, but later on, few symptoms are there like swollen affected area, difficulty in breathing, fever, bleeding, etc. Now, how we can treat? Completely treated if medication given at early stage. Okay, and very effective vaccinations are also available in the market, children, for anthrax. Now, second type of disease is foot and mouth disease. This kind of disease is we can observe in cattle and sheep. And which pathogen is responsible? Virus is responsible for this. Now how it can enter? Through the saliva, mucus, milk, or through direct contact. Okay, what are the symptoms? Fever, decrease in milk production, weight loss, loss in appetite. Okay, so this is all about foot and mouth disease. Now third type of disease is black quarter. Black quarter is very much common in cattle, sheep, goats, etc. Pathogen responsible is bacteria. Okay, it can transmit it through soil and food. Sometimes survival only up to a couple of hours after symptoms are seen, children. Okay, treatment. What kind of treatment we can give? Medications are there in the market. If we provide medication in the early stage, so that this black quarter can be treated. Okay, treated with antibiotics because this is caused by bacteria. So in this case we can give antibiotics like penicillin extra. Okay, so of prevention from infectious disease in animals, we need to take care about few things, children, like proper feeding of cattle. Proper feeding should be there. Maintaining hygiene, children, maintaining hygiene is very much important in every's life. Like whether we talk about human being, we talk about animal, we talk about plant. If we are maintaining hygiene, so we can avoid these kind of microorganism. Isolation from infected animal, like if one animal is affected by any kind of disease, so we should isolate that animal from other animals so that it should not be transferred from one animal to another, because these kind of diseases are communicable. Regular checkup by doctor should be there. Timely vaccinations of animal, like if you are having dogs at your home, you are having pet like cats, so proper vaccination should be there. Like in humans body, we are taking care of small small things. In the same manner, animals are also a living organism, children. We should take care about these steps, so that whatever animal we are having as a pet, that animal should be safe. It should be far away from disease. Okay, now disease causing microorganism in plants. Now we have discussed about animals, we have discussed about human being. So several microorganisms cause disease in plants also, children, like in wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple, and others. Disease reduce the yield of crops, children. For such plants disease, we should maintain few steps. Okay, they can be controlled by certain chemicals which kill the microbe. We should use certain chemicals, children, so that we can kill the microbes. Okay, now this topic also we are not going to discuss in detail, children, because in your NCRT very small topic is there. So we are just going to discuss about few disease. What kind of disease in plant we can observe by pathogen? Rust of wheat, late blight of potato, citrus canker. Okay, rust. What is the meaning of rust, children? We have heard this word with iron. We said iron is rusted. But wheat, which is red in color, that time we can use this word rusted wheat. And pathogen is fungus. It enters through soil through infectious spores. It can be treated by weedicide. So if farmers sprays weedicides at time, we can prevent wheat to get rusted. Now next is late blight of potato. Have you ever seen black color inside the potato, children? When your mother cut the potato for making food, if you have observed the black color inside the potato, so that is late blight of potato. Which pathogen is responsible? Fungus is responsible for that black color spot inside the potato. How it can transfer into the potato or tomato, children? Through water, through rain, through wet and humid condition also. Now, third type of disease in plants is citrus canker. This type of disease is observed into the citrus based fruits or vegetable like lemon, like orange. Which pathogen is responsible? Bacteria. Okay. So here are few diseases which are caused inside the plants by pathogens, by microorganisms, children. Now, our next slide is about process of nitrogen fixation, children. This is a very important topic of this chapter, children. You should know about this. Let's understand this topic with the help of one picture, children. Children, this is a nitrogen cycle. You are able to see on your screen. This is a nitrogen cycle. You might be wondering how nitrogen is coming to the soil. In the atmosphere, children, you are able to see 78% of nitrogen is present. This percentage remains same all the time. This 78% of nitrogen is remains same in the atmosphere all the time, children. When we say that these microorganisms like rhizobium, bacteria, they fix nitrogen to the soil, does that mean that they take some nitrogen from atmosphere, children, and fix it in the soil? If that is the case, that means this percentage in the atmosphere should be decreased. If we are saying that, I am repeating my words, if I am saying that like few microorganisms are there like rhizobium bacteria, what we are saying that rhizobium bacteria is actually fixing nitrogen to the soil. So how this bacteria is fixing this nitrogen to the soil? It is taking from somewhere. So only atmosphere is having this 78% of nitrogen gas. So might be rhizobium is taking nitrogen from this atmosphere. So it can decrease the percentage of nitrogen also. But it is not happening. In the atmosphere, children, 78% of nitrogen is all the time. How? So it sounds interesting. There is no decrease of nitrogen in the atmosphere. So this entire thing is maintained and driven by nitrogen cycle, children. How nitrogen cycle can maintain the nitrogen of 78% in the atmosphere constantly. Okay, so let's discuss about this now. Now, children, nitrogen is constantly being exchanged between different components of the earth like atmosphere and soil through various organisms. This cycle is continuously taking place. As a result, nitrogen is in the atmosphere always remain constant. Like there are some organisms are taking nitrogen from the atmosphere for fixing nitrogen to the soil. At the same time, there are some organisms which converts nitrogenous compound which are present in the soil and send back to the atmosphere. Both type of organism exist. There are taking nitrogen inside the soil and some are sending back to the nitrogen to the atmosphere. As a result, these two processes taking place simultaneously, maintaining the level of nitrogen in the atmosphere, that is 78%, and try to understand how nitrogen exchange between various components of the earth. Let's talk about this. Children, atmosphere atmosphere is having 78% of nitrogen. Now, from this atmosphere, bacteria like rhizobium take nitrogen from atmosphere. Okay, so 78% of nitrogen is present. Few microorganisms like rhizobium or blue green algae fix the nitrogen to the soil. Where I am talking about rhizobium. Rhizobium lives in the root, like you are able to see picture. This is the root. So rhizobium is here. Rhizobium is present here, and this microorganism is taking nitrogen from the atmosphere. Okay, so these type of microorganisms take nitrogen from the atmosphere and fix them into the plant in a form of ammonia. So what this rhizobium is doing? Fixing the nitrogen inside the soil, okay, inside the soil, and convert into ammonia, NH3. Okay, so now this ammonia can be utilized by other plants for development. Now here you are having, so this nitrogen is used by these other plants. So again, nitrogen is important for nutrient needed by the plant. So we know that for plants nitrogen is very much important. Okay, so because of rhizobium bacteria, children, you are having NH3 with you. Now this NH3, this ammonia, is uptake by the plants. They can get their share from the soil. Now nitrogen is with these plants, so these plants are having their share from the soil. So, okay, these plants are eaten by the animals. Now these plants are eaten by the animals. Which kind of animals? Herbivorous animals. They also get the share of nitrogen. Now these herbivorous animals are eaten by carnivorous animals. Okay, so now carnivorous animals also get their share of nitrogen. In this way, nitrogen is passed from one organism to another. Now in the starting, only atmosphere is having 78% of nitrogen. After that, because of rhizobium and blue green algae, a few percentage of nitrogen is shifted to the soil. Now there in the soil, that convert into ammonia, and that ammonia is uptake by other plants, and those plants is eaten by herbivorous animals, and that herbivorous animals were eaten by carnivorous animal. So in this way, nitrogen is passed through one organism to another. Now when these plants and animals dies, so these convert into dead and decaying animals. So dead and decaying animals also contain lots of nitrogen, children. So what we will do with these dead plants and animal, we buried them into the soil. So once they reach to the soil, we call them nitrogenous waste. So now these plants and animals which already having nitrogen inside them, when they died, they mix with the soil, and that soil, in that soil, nitrogen converts into nitrogenous waste. Now these nitrogenous waste attacked by decomposers. Who attack them? These nitrogenous waste is attacked by decomposers. Okay, decomposers, that is bacteria and fungi. They convert into inorganic, they convert into inorganic form. Now nitrogen is present in the soil, which was used by plants, then animals. So in this way, cycle rotates. Now few percentage of nitrogenous waste is attacked by decomposers and convert into that waste into nitrogen. Okay, and again soil get the nitrogen back. Okay, now remaining leftover is attacked by Denny Frying. Attacked by Denny Trifying bacteria. What these bacteria do, they convert like this. Here we reach here, that they convert that waste into the nitrogen and send back into the atmosphere. If you look the entire picture from one side, from this side nitrogen is entering into the soil, and from this side nitrogen is moving back to the atmosphere. Children, I hope this cycle is clear to you. Now let's, after understanding from the cycle, children, nitrogen fixation, let's have a short recap of that nitrogen cycle. First, what we are doing, atmosphere has 78% of nitrogen gas. Okay, nitrogen fixed into the soil. How? Nitrogen fixing microbes convert atmosphere nitrogen into the nitrogenous compound like ammonia, because in the atmosphere initially you are having 78% of nitrogen. That nitrogen is shared by few bacteria, rhizobium bacteria, that convert that nitrogen into ammonia, and that ammonia is utilized by the plants for development. Plants utilize nitrogen from soil through roots. Animals utilize nitrogen feeding on plants. Now plants having nitrogen, and those plants is eaten by herbivorous animals, and herbivorous animals are eaten by carnivorous animals. Plants and animals die now. Okay, after using that nitrogen, at some stage these plants and animals die. Nitrogenous waste return to the soil. After those plants and animal they die, that their dead bodies convert into the nitrogenous waste and return to the soil. This nitrogenous waste contain lots of nitrogen. Okay, so now few part is attacked by decomposer. What they do, they convert some part to the nitrogen compound and used by plants again. Because of this decomposer, nitrogen is again available in the soil, and remaining part is attacked by denitrifying bacteria that convert that nitrogen into the atmosphere nitrogen. Children, so whole process, from the one side nitrogen is mixing to the soil, their bacteria is fixing the soil, and from the shifting to one organism to the other organism, again nitrogen is reaching to the atmosphere. Children, so this is the whole cycle about nitrogen. Okay, this is the nitrogen cycle. Now we are going to talk about food preservation. Food preservation. We have learned about method used to preserve and store food grains in previous chapter. How do we preserve cooked food at home? You know that bread left unused under the moist condition is attacked by fungus. This we have discussed, children. Microorganisms spoil our food. Spoiled food emits bad smell and has a bad taste and change color. Okay. Now, children, let's study the common method of preserving food in our homes. We have to save it from the attack of microorganisms. How we can save our food by the attack of microorganisms? We are having few step: chemical method, preservation by common salt, preservation by sugar, preservation by oil, vinegar, heat and cold treatment, storage and packaging. In chemical method, salt and edible oils are common. Chemicals generally used to check the growth of microorganisms. Therefore, they are called preservatives, children. We add salt and acid preservative to pickle to prevent the attack of microbes. Sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfite are the common preservatives. These are also used in jams. These are also used in jams and squashes to check their spoilage. Now In preservation by common salt. Common salt has been used to preserve meat, fish for ages. Meat and fish are covered with dry salt to check the growth of bacteria. Salting is also used to preserve amla, children, raw mangoes, and etc. Preservation by sugar. How we can preserve our food with the help of sugar, children? Jams, jellies, squashes are preserved by sugar. Sugar reduces the moisture content which inhibits the growth of bacteria which spoil food. Now, fourth is preservation by oil and vinegar. Use of oil and vinegar prevents spoilage of pickles because bacteria cannot live in such an environment. Vegetables, fruit, fish, and meat are often preserved by this method. Next is heat and cold treatment. You must have observed your mother boiling milk before it is stored or used. You have observed, children, that what when you are bringing milk packet from outside, what your mother do first? First she boils the milk. Boiling kills the microorganism. Microorganism killed when we boil something. That is why in my last slide we have discussed that before drinking water you should boil the water, because by boiling we can kill the microbe, we can kill the growth of microbes. Now boiling kills many microorganisms. Similarly, we can keep our food in the refrigerator. Low temperature is also kill the growth of microbes. Now, here last point is storage and packing. Storage. Last point is storage and packing. Children, have you observed that these days in the malls, many things you observe in the packet form, fruits, vegetables, even dry food, even cooked foods. Why? Because at the end, storage and packing plays an important role. Okay, sealed airtight packets can prevent our food by the attack of microbes, children. Okay, now with this, children, our this chapter number 2, microorganism, is finished. In my next video we are going to discuss as our third chapter of science. I hope this whole chapter is clear to you and there is no problem you are going to face. Try to solve all the worksheet again and again so that your concept should be clear. Okay, children? And take care of yourself. Clean your hands properly. Clean your surroundings properly, because you know now how microorganism can attack on your food, attack on your health. How what kind of classification of microbes are there? Everything is clear to you now. So take care of yourself, children. Take care of your parents too. Thank you.